you can track where you're at. So usually that's going to be credit cards, there's going to be your mortgages, there's going to be any car loans and stuff like that. And you're going to want to put that in here so you're able to continue tracking that. And so now this is the fun part, right? So all of this right here kind of leads you to this this tab, which is the monthly budget tab. So you're going to open up this budget every single month, and you're going to talk about, or you're going to put in what you are going to basically spend. So right now, what I kind of started is putting in your income. So right now, this person has $2,000 a month to work with. So what we're going to do is get this to zero, so we have the zero sum budget, right? So right now, what I started with, right, we have our starting balance of $2,000 in our account. Our checking balance is $2,000, and we already accounted for $2,000 planned coming into our account. So what you're going to do here is now you have $1,800. Is going to tell you. The first thing I always do, especially because we're at the church convention, is tithing. Plan for tithing. Everybody knows that's 10% of your income, so you can plan for that already. So we already put our $200 in there because that's 10%. So we already put our $200 in there, and so now once we did that, and I can do it in real time too. So let's say we put this back at zero, right? Put this back at zero. Okay, anyway, well, I'm not on the internet, so I'll connect in a second. But what is going to happen here, I put in 200, it's going to change this to now subtract that, right? So now we have $1,800 left to budget. So we're going to make sure everything is going to get to zero. So now in these categories, these are our expense categories, our giving. I feel like this is the most important. We already seen some Bible verses as to why that's so important. And so we're going to put in our tithing and charity. Now, next, we're going to go into savings. So savings can be in Roth IRA. That's the easiest one you could get, especially as if you're working. Your job already has a 401k, but you can also go start your Roth IRA with any bank. There's actually, if everybody's familiar with Robinhood, I think Robinhood actually just started a Roth IRA to make it a little bit easier to be able to do. And the max you could put in, I believe, is $1,700, that you could max out your Roth IRA. So from here, you want to put in that. So if I have an allocated expense and say, hey, I want to put $700, $300 in my Roth IRA, then that's going to go here. So from here, again, just because we're not connected to the internet, this would change. This would start to go lower, and it would tell us what we have left. So then we're going to move on to different categories. So now we have our housing and living expenses. So right here is going to be example of like our mortgage or rent, our water, gas, electricity, our internet, trash, things like that. So these are already, these are considered those fixed expenses that we're going to have. And we're going to begin to start to implement those in here. And if I do, because I really do want to connect, let me do this. Give me 1 second. Because I want to show you how it moves. Just give me 2 seconds. And we should be good to go. Let's refresh. Okay. Now let's go back here. Perfect. Okay. Perfect. So, and this could be collaborative too. So since we got it working now, does anybody want to kind of take a stab or see where you want to put some expenses? So we already have tithing. Roth IRA, does anybody have a number they want to throw out just so we can contribute, just so we can all go through this together? Anybody have a number they want to throw out?
We're making $2,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
I got $50.
$50, okay. Yeah, 50. So see, we put in our 50. Now we have $1,750 left to budget. And then from there, I don't know what's going on with this. Oh gosh, that's the worst. There we go. Sorry about that, y'all.
You didn't pull it up as bad, did you?
No. No, it'll just be the cord. It'll be alright. It'll get going. It'll figure it out in a second. So from there, right? So now we have $1,750 left to budget. And again, the general concept is just trying to get that down to zero. And here we go. So now we're going to start to implement our mortgage and rent. So we have 2,000. I think the going rate, around here for shoot, we probably are. We're gonna be at negative, but yeah, exactly. That is an excellent rule of thumb. Did everybody hear what he said? So that's an excellent rule of thumb. Go ahead.
That should be 25% of your income.
Yes, 25 to 30% of your income should go to your housing, not more. Naturally, just because of where we at, it may be, but that is a kind of rule of thumb, especially when you start to rent. You don't want it to be more than 25 to 30% of your income. That's very, very good. So from here, we'll just throw a number 900 or something like that. So we found a Section 8 house, so we're good to go. So we have our water now. We have our water. We can say that's around 25. We have our electricity. That'll be around, I don't know. It's hot, so it's probably going to be around, I don't know, $50 just because it's real, real hot. That's a lot for the month? Okay, we'll take it down. I'm saying throw numbers on. Let's go.
We already had 50% for our rent.
Yeah.
So you probably paying
We bet.
$500 for rent.
Yeah.
Because I can't afford a $50 light bill. My
Yeah.
rent. It's already half my pay.
Yeah. So let's go.
We might have to upgrade that,
The income? Well, yeah, we just put a number on there, but it's just a general concept. We just playing with numbers.
So if my rent 500, then my electricity could be like 25.
Okay.
A lot of people do live in the hole.
Say again.
I said a lot of people are currently living in the hole because
Yeah.
the rent is so high.
Yeah, that's very true.
And everything.
Very, very true.
It don't match.
So we have our electricity. We'll just throw, I don't know. What is that? What I throw on there? 50, gas, water, electricity. Electricity, we'll just say like $15, something like that. We just throwing numbers out. Internet, that'll be real good, right?
That works.
Internet, we'll say, internet, we'll just throw $10 on there. Trash, we don't have a trash. We live in Section 8 housing, so we don't have a trash. We don't have a trash maintenance. And then so you also have like utilities fund and home maintenance fund. So again, like these are just different funds and different ways you can kind of start to implement your budget. So we have transportation. So we have our car. That's gasoline, and gas is what almost $6 a gallon now. So right here, every time I touch it, that's crazy. So again, the general concept is just getting us down to zero, right? And so right now we are at $1,150 left to budget. So let's go.
$11.50?
No, 11. $1,150. So we'll throw gas on there. Let's just say $20. Actually, no. Let's just say we take the bus or something. So we don't even have transportation fees. Groceries. So it's just us by ourselves. Anybody want to throw a number out for groceries? Again, we just, you eating good. you eating good. You eating good. So we just, yeah. Yeah, we just do 100. We'll do 100. We'll do 100. Dining out. So dining out, this is where it get real tricky. Yeah. So dining out, this is where you're gonna get cracked, like he said. So where, I don't know. Do y'all want to eat out this month or do y'all not? What y'all want to do?
At least one time.
At least one time.
How old am I?
Let's say we 30 and we single, so we might want to eat out.
300.
For eating out?
Outside.
Oh, you out? Oh, you outside? Okay, we outside. Okay, we outside. We outside. So next we got our insurances. So again, we'll probably leave the insurances at zero. But everybody, there's life insurance policies that you could take out and go do that separate. Sometimes your job will also give you will also have a policy on you. This also will include car insurance, but we're not driving, so we don't have car payment. or we don't have car insurance. And then now we have our personal. So what do y'all want to do this month on clothes? Y'all want to go shopping? Y'all trying to go to the mills? Y'all trying not to shop? What y'all trying to do?
I don't shop no more since COVID.
Online? We online. We at Amazon. Okay, so we're not doing no clothes. We're going to the gym. We going to the gym. We have Planet Fitness. What's Planet Fitness about? What, $6.99 or something like that? $7? Something like that.
That ain't what you paying. You paying double that.
You sport to 25? We can do sport to.
We just put something for clothes. You gotta have clothes.
Yeah, we might need some. Not worried about So we got 25. So we just buff and we not eating. Oh, that's 25,000. That was crazy. And then cell phone. I don't actually. What's this? Cell phone. Which I want to put cell phone bills. Little 110.
110.
Y'all better start getting Mint Mobile. Yeah, we.
It's unlimited.
Yeah. Okay. And so now, so now that we have that, we're actually doing pretty good in our budget, right? Out of all of that, we have $615 left to budget, so we're trying to get to zero. So, we could put some money. So now we can allocate money towards clothes.
Shoes and all that.
Yep. So we want to do. Where's it at? We could do $100 to clothes.
How much?
We can do 100 clothes.
Yeah, for me.
So now we still have 515
Seems
left.
like nobody wants you already, so you might want to make it fit you already. Me, I would pay my bill.
We did our bills. So we're actually looking pretty good. We making it out pretty cheap, yo. We did. We live it. Yeah,
We got roommates. This is roommate.
Yeah, and we on.
That's what it is. Roommate. It's the roommate budget.
and we on the stream. We on the stream.
It's 2 other occupants.
So here's where we might get caught up. So I also added in a tab for subscriptions. So y'all like Netflix, so we know we gonna have Netflix. Your Netflix $6.99? Wait, how you got it? Wait.
Add commercials, you get a discount.
Oh.
If you want commercials, it's $10.
Okay, got you.
My Netflix $40. You got to get the multiple households and all that. So we'll do Netflix at about, let's do 25. We'll do Netflix at about 25. What else? We like Hulu. Everybody like Hulu?
Or $30.
Huh? Or the cable box.
$30 for
Cable box.
what do you call it?
The stream.
Yeah, the stream.
The stream.
Yeah. Would you be cheaper other than that? You're gonna have to say
Take
more.
off Hulu and all that.
Oh, that's good. Pay 25.
$50, yeah. So we got our subscriptions. We can also put in. I'm trying to think of more subscriptions like Netflix, TV Max, all that. Huh?
Uber.
We can do Uber. Yeah. Oh yeah. We're not taking transportation, so we
I
can
ain't got a car.
do Uber. We don't have a car, so we're Ubering. So we can put that in subscription because they do that. So now we could do the monthly Uber, maybe about maybe about 50, something like that.
Yep, sounds right.
50. Now when it turns red, that lets you know. Oh, actually, so there's some color indications here. So here is the income versus expense. So this is going to let you know, it's a planned expense versus I can't even see it, but it's going to let you know if you're pretty much over budget. So if I have a planned expense of $50 for Netflix, and if I insert in my tab, right, so we'll get there in a second, but once I insert that expense, as soon as it comes out of my account, if I plan for 50, then I put in 51, this is now going to say that you're over $1 on this. So we have that. We still have we'll put Uber and Netflix as on subscription. Let's see what we got left. So we have $490 left, and let's just say we're throwing that in our Christmas fund. We might want to get our mom or something, or dad or something, some gifts. So we set $490. We have that as a planned expense, and so now we're in the money, right? So we reached our zero-based budget. Now, the beauty of this is that this is going to then, it's up to you to determine, right, how good of an oil machine this is going to go. So now that I have all of my planned expenses, what I'm going to do here now is insert every single transaction that comes into my account. So if you want to do it every week, whatever your cadence is, you want to put every single transaction and assign it to a different place. So like an example is, we'll make it easy and say we did our charity, so we did our tithing, but for whatever reason, we did our tithing we just over tithed, right? So we only planned for $200 to tithe. Now, if we do, for whatever reason, if we just did 300, right? So we put in the amount, which is 300. We're gonna describe exactly what it is. Sometimes you can put it how it is in your account or not. So we'll just put tithe. Then we're gonna go to income and expense and determine if there's an income and expense. And so because this is tithing, that's gonna come as an expense because we spent it. Then we're gonna categorize it, and that's what's gonna let this know, right? So as we can see that I put the $300 into into our tithing. Now what happens is we have our planned expense of $200, our expenses that we actually did, so our real expense that we actually did on this was $300. Now we're negative $100. That's also going to reflect what we're gonna do here. I don't know why it didn't change, but so this should say you're over budget by $100. So however much you're over budget, this is going to change to let you know where you're at. So from here is how you want to kind of navigate that. So that is pretty much how it's going to go. You're going to put in all your transactions. It's going to populate into whatever category you assign it to. After you assign it to a category, it'll tell you if you're still on track, if you're off track, if you're under track. And then from there is when you navigate that. So if I have my clothing expense and, like Auntie Glow said, we want to spend $100 on clothes, but I just got taxed or something, it's $150. Now we need to go back into our budget to determine where we're going to get that $50 from to get us back to zero so we're not overspending. And so that is a good kind of tool to navigate that I wanted to share and that everybody will have access to. I just got to figure out how to get everybody's emails so that I can email that to you along with some other resources. So that way you have this, you can utilize it, and you have a set budget.
You have a slide on there to account for like variable income.
Mm-hmm.
That you plan on, or like commission.
Yeah, so like a part of this is going to be, so like if I'm a W-4 contract or something, right? Like I don't have really set income. So when you have this, right, you can put in your income, and then this is still going to change. It's still going to change. So like if I have, so right now I only say I have $2,000. If somebody just blessed me $500, I can put that in here as income $500. Then this is going to tell me that I have $500 left to budget. And then you just assign it to a category from there. But the goal is to always be at the zero sum, so that way you know and have accounted for every single penny that's coming into your account. And we can move on to that. So that's something that I wanted to share. Everybody's going to have access to that. I'll be able to send that. And that is the Budget Buddy system. So now we're going to move on to credit scores, so we can move a little bit forward. So everybody knows what a credit score is. Does anybody want to share what they know?
I'll let you share your credit score.
The higher your credit, the higher your credit score, the better interest rates that you can get, or
Yes.
various things like that.
Exactly. That's pretty much it. So your credit score is a numerical representation of your credit worthiness. In simpler terms, it's a number that indicates how reliable you are at paying back the money you borrow. Lenders like banks and credit card companies use your credit score to determine how risky it is for them to lend you money. And does anybody have an idea of how their credit score is actually calculated? Does anybody know the percentages and what they track?
Payment history.
Okay, that's one.
Payment value, or credit value, how much you have in credit, debt, the age of the credit.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the requirement? Yeah.
Hard pulls. Yep.
Pools.
So your credit is based off of five. There's five categories. So it's going to be your payment history, which is 35% of your calculation. That's the I don't want to say that is like the biggest determining factor of your credit. Next is going to be your credit utilization. Does anybody actually know the number of how much your credit utilization should be? So if I have a credit card, how much of that credit is what is the sweet spot?
30%.
Exactly. 30% is a sweet spot of what you should use. Your credit utilization is 30% of your credit score. Your length of credit history is 15%, which is how long you had credit. Your types of credit used is 10%, and then your new credit is 10%. So we already know why it's important. And then there's three major companies that track your credit. So it's going to be Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. And then does anybody know where you can go see your credit score? So there's a couple different sites. Yeah.
If you go to Credit Karma,
Mm-hmm.
that's one where you can go and just see your credit score.
Mhm.
They have a scale
Mm-hmm.
that you can play around with inquiries,
Mhm.
credit utilization, and you can see exactly the percentage that you're talking about.
Exactly.
Credit Karma is where you can go.
Exactly. Exactly.
I check mine every day.
Yeah. Check it every day.
I
That's
check every
good.
day.
That's good.
I
That's
check
good.
it every
You
day.
get it free every year from the actual.
From the annual.
The credit company
Mhm.
as well, the three that you just mentioned.
Yep, and then even another thing too. Actually, one of the things Obama did when he was in office. Now your credit card, if you get it in the mail, I'm actually not too sure online, but I know if you get your credit or your bank statement from your credit card, it actually talks about how long it's going to take you to pay off at what you're paying on minimum payments, which is really, really good. And then it also will show a quick snapshot of your credit score. So that was one thing that's really, really good. And so now we're going to talk about the importance of saving and investing. So saving and investing are critical components of building wealth. We're going to talk about the power of compounding interest. So compounding interest is a tool that can help grow your savings over time. It's not like simple interest, which is only calculated on the principal amount. Compound interest is calculated on the principal amount plus any interest earned. So that means that your money earned on top of your interest, accelerating your wealth building efforts. So for example, if you invest $100 at an interest rate at 5%, after 1 year, you'll have $105. The next year, you'll earn interest not just on $100 you originally invested, but also on the $5 interest from the first year. So over time, this leads to just exponential growth in your savings. And then stocks and bonds. So we all know what stocks are. Everybody's familiar with stocks are. So stocks is when you purchase a small ownership stake in a company. Stocks offer the potential for high returns, but they can also be really volatile, meaning it can go back and forth. Bonds is not something that people usually think about when we're talking about having savings accounts. So your bonds are basically loans you make to government or corporations in exchange for regular interest payments and the return of the bond's face value when it matures. Bonds are generally more stable and reliable than stocks, making them a good choice for conservative investors or for balancing a more aggressive investment portfolio. One of the things that I talk about, one of the bonds that I actually have, is with a black-owned bank, One United Bank. If you are looking into bonds, I would just suggest going through there just because it's just helping, circulate back wealth. Every bank will have one, but if you do, I'm not affiliated with them, but I would say One United Bank just because it's a black-owned bank, and get you some bonds. So I did have a video, but that talks about compounding interest, but I don't want to be too short on time, so we can.
And Bishop, I want to double check because we know that the next sessions are 3:15, so I gave them 5, but it could be 10. How long is the video?
It's like 5 minutes, so I could just skip
Okay,
it.
you do it. I think you can.
Would you rather work hard for money or have money work hard for you?
I want that one.
Compound interest empowers you with that choice. Compound interest is a core financial principle. that can drastically increase your wealth over time. But before we explore compound interest, it's helpful to understand simple interest. Simple interest is the interest you earn on just your principal. Let's say you invest $1,000 and earn 5% simple interest for 5 years. In year 1, you'll earn $50, which is 5% of your $1,000 principal. In year 2, you'll earn another $50, and each year thereafter, you'll continue earning $50. As you can see, simple interest remains constant over time. Compound interest is a different story. Let's say you invest your $1,000 in a savings account that compounds annually with interest of 5%. In year 1, your interest is still $50. However, assuming you keep your interest earnings in your account, your dollar interest will increase every year. In year 2, you'll earn $52.50. In year 3, you'll earn $55.13. Why? Because you're adding your interest to your principal each year. So you're earning 5% on a perpetually increasing amount of money. Compared to our first example, you earned an additional $26.28 of interest, or 10.5% more over the same time frame. This growth is known as compound interest, which enables you to build wealth without lifting a finger. As the name implies, compound interest is the idea of interest on interest, which occurs when you reinvest interest earnings to make more money. So long as you continue to reinvest your interest, your passive income will exponentially grow. Beyond calculating the growth of funds in a savings account, you can also compound interest to estimate the long-term growth of a stock portfolio. Let's compare the difference between saving money and investing money using compound interest. If you set aside $365 per year, the equivalent of $1 per day, and put it in a safe, you'd have $365 after 1 year, $730 after 2 years, $995 after 3 years, and so on. If you continue this cycle for 40 years, you'll eventually save $14,600. While saving is important, true wealth cannot be achieved without the benefits of compound interest. So what if you regularly invested your $365 in something with a higher rate of return, such as the stock market? The historical average annual return of the S&P 500 is about 10%. Dating back to the 19th century, if you annually invested $365 into an index fund that tracks the S&P 500, your investment could be worth $396 after 1 year, $832 after 2 years, $1,311 after 3 years, and so on. After 40 years, your shares of the index could potentially be worth $177,701. That's a significant increase compared to letting your money sit idly in a safe. As you increase your annual investment, the future value of your portfolio exponentially increases. Although it requires a long-term outlook, compound interest can amplify your wealth trajectory, help you prepare for future financial needs, and improve your general lifestyle.
So yeah, that was just a good quick visual to just a very simplified version of talking about compounding interest. And so we're going to move on.
And can you repeat your name for?
I'm Arlington.
Some didn't get it.
Oh, sorry. I'm Arlington Rodgers III. Yeah, that's it. I'm Arlington.
You gave your background in the beginning?
Yes.
Yeah, a little bit. Oh, well, so my name is Arlington Rodgers III. I'm originally from San Bernardino, California. I currently work at UCLA as a fund manager. I have a nonprofit organization called It Starts With Me that tackles financial literacy and addresses financial literacy and access in underserved Black communities. And then I graduated from Morehouse College with a degree in economics. So I think that's
wow. You go. I flunked. It was very, very hard. I don't know for you all, but it was hard for me. I mean, so some just happen. Some
yeah. No, I like it. It's a fun,
Well,
but yeah.
that's it.
But
It wasn't mine.
So yeah, so we have we talked about stocks and bonds a little bit. Does anybody actually have an account? Has anybody opened up a stock account? Who'd you open it up with?
I don't have a stock account, but I do have, you might be familiar with this IUL,
IUL, no.
Index Universal Account.
No, what's
So
up?
it's where your money grows tax-free
Oh, okay.
at a high rate of return.
Oh,
I'll get with you after.
yeah, for sure.
I got Robinhood and then TD.
Robinhood, TD?
American.
TD and Ameritrade is pretty good. Robinhood's pretty good too. So yeah, definitely those apps I would recommend for stocks. Robinhood, I think it just helps with just access and accessibility, makes it a little bit easy. Definitely have to get with bro on the IUL, but yeah. So yeah, we already talked about stocks. We can move forward, and now we talk about strategies for building wealth. So this is, and I'm not super licensed, so I'm not going to talk about specifically just like where to go buy, where the market's hot. But we'll talk about. I'll just tell you a brief kind of overview. So like, of course, everybody knows real estate investment. Very super popular. Takes a lot of the capital to get in, but once you're in, it vastly increases your net worth as well as just what you're able to do with your financial picture. And entrepreneurship, again, it's always it's a bit risky because you don't have somebody that's giving you a paycheck every week, every 2 weeks, every month. But entrepreneurship is how you have just 100% ownership. If I go make $1 and I made $1, but then you talk about what are you talking about with your as I open a business, profit margin, stuff like that. But entrepreneurship is a great way to kind of start to build wealth, and sometimes a lot of people use their daily job income, their W-2 income, and use that to kind of fund what they want to do. So you have that, and then we'll talk about there's tangible assets which appreciate over time. You can also invest in, if you have Robinhood, there are REITs, so real estate investment and trust. So you're able to invest in that on those apps to kind of get in the game a little bit without having a bunch of capital. So it's a REIT is basically a group of investors already has something. There's already a fund set up for property, and then you're able to kind of buy in and say, yep. So you're able to buy in, put whatever kind of capital you have, and you're able to return off that. I can't think of any popular ones right now, but as soon as you look it up, you'll be able to find some. They're always ongoing. So you have rental properties, which is of course is I have a property, I'm renting out to somebody, and I'm making income off of their rent that they're giving me. The benefits of real estate is including potential long-term capital appreciation, rental income, tax benefits, and hedge against inflation. So again, having real estate is really, really the key because nobody can get rid of that. It's always going to appreciate, and yeah, it's a beautiful thing to have if you're able to do it. Benefits of entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship offers the opportunity to create something valuable while building wealth and achieving personal fulfillment. Does anybody in here have their own business or started their own business or tried? You want to try? Well, yeah. I would say just even when you're talking about starting your own business, definitely one thing to look into once you start. One thing that's getting popular now is like government grants and contracts. If you're starting a business, look to get those. And especially there's not a lot of people that look like us that are getting those, and so they're just giving money away, right? So just look up what's going on in your city, county, state, and see if your mission statement or what you're doing as you start your business aligns with that, and then you could get government contracts. Instead of having to sell to a small percentage of people. That's going to greatly expand your market base. And then lastly, we'll talk about, since this was kind of directed towards young adults, so what they can do now. And I would say for any parents, I don't think I mentioned it, especially with the credit, but make your child an authorized user. So by the time that they start their own credit card, they already have some type of they already have some type of credit history. So start them now. So they have it. Well, keep that credit card good. That you're gonna put them on. keep that credit card good that you got them on. But definitely put them on it so that they can start to build credit even before they even have to make their first swipe. So some of the things that I was going to mention is just opening a savings account. So many banks offer you savings account. I think when I was younger, I had a savings account with Arrowhead Credit Union. So they have a good, like a Rocky Starter account, which is really, really good. There's actually a bank in Colorado that's just designed for youth. I think it's like Youth American Bank or something like that, and you can open an account with them. Set savings goals. So I'll also have another sheet that I want to send out in the packet to talk about just how to set SMART goals, and that'll also help you just creating your mindset. And then learn about investing. So again, if you're not already in the stock market, there's tons of stock market simulation games that you can kind of do and play with, so you can understand what's going on in the stock market without even having to invest any. Financial literacy courses, so some like mine, or different, YouTube has everything. Books and podcasts. You can earn money now, so part-time jobs, entrepreneurship, of course. So if I go mow somebody grass, things like that. And then micro investing, so like we talked about, stocks, bonds, ETFs, where you don't have to have a whole bunch of capital, and I can put whatever I have. Understanding your credit, I hope by now you understand it. And then I mentioned custodial accounts, so you can have a custodial Roth IRA, something you want to talk to your parents about. So if a teenager has employment income, a parent can help set up a custodial Roth IRA, which can introduce the concept of retirement savings and benefit from tax-free. So that would just be your parents setting up a Roth IRA for you that you can be on. And then there's a bunch of different websites that I'm not going to mention because I'm out of time, and podcasts.
Give them your email.
Yep.
Yes. And they can email you back.
Yeah. So, I'm going to give everybody my email. Well, I'll grab everybody's email so I can send you that, and I'll also put in the resources. But
Send a list.
Yep. Yeah, that's fine. Or you can come up. Whoever wants to come up, I just put it on my laptop. But yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Okay, and the surveys, if you have, thank you very much. Good job.
Thank you.